Tupac, Tupac, and he was, hey, you know, and Bush, you know, a real mother, you know, be sitting down and set his ass down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll be hanging out the window, just want to be seen and shit. That first shot, he hit big boy in the head. I thought he was dead. Like, damn, he's dead.
Did you have anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I wasn't even in the matter. I wasn't in the matter, period.
Do you regret the book and the interview?
Yeah, I was just after the money, and they said I was covered. I did it for the money. You know what I'm saying? And
But did anyone tell you maybe it's not a good idea to do that because they might arrest you after they hear you say that or read it in your book?
Keefe D just opened his mouth on who ordered the hit on Tupac, and the streets went dead quiet. Word is, the man who admitted he was in the Cadillac that night is finally pointing at the name behind the money. And if he sticks to it in court, the whole story of Pac's assassination is about to change forever. Now, if you've been tapped into them whispers, y'all already know the trial for Tupac just kicked off after 30 years. And the man who's been charged, Keefe D, is finally sitting in that courtroom while the jury starts taking shape. 15 prospective jurors got told to come back for the next round of selection. The process kicked off with 75 names, and the court is looking to lock in 12 jurors plus 4 alternates. Prosecutors are saying Dwayne Keith Davis did not pull the trigger himself. They claim he orchestrated the whole thing, facilitated the hit, and was even in the Cadillac when the gunfire lit up the night.
Mr. Davis, my understanding is that Mr. Stamp has made you aware that you have the right to have the jury sentence you if they come back on a first-degree murder verdict, and you have decided to waive that right. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what that means is when I am talking to the jurors, I'm not going to tell them what the potential penalties are for first-degree murder. Additionally, I'm not going to ask them if they can abide by those penalties and come up with a sentencing agreement or sentencing decision. And then at the end of the day, if that is the verdict, it would be me sentencing you on that as well as the enhancement. Is that your understanding of everything that would happen given this waiver?
Enhancement?
Yeah. So in general, the defense would have, the jury would be able to sentence you on the first degree portion. That carries either 20 years to life, or 20 to 50 years, 20 to life, or life without the possibility of parole.
Keefe D has pleaded not guilty, thereby rejecting the 15 to 20 years plea deal for the murder of Tupac Shakur. His defense is calling the stories he told over the years exaggerated and made up for money and attention.
Did you have anything to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I wasn't even in the matter. I wasn't in the matter, period.
Do you regret the book and the interview?
Yeah, I was just after the money, and they said I was covered. I did it for the money. You know what I'm saying? And
But did anyone tell you maybe it's not a good idea to do that because they might arrest you after they hear you say that or read it in your book?
Now, before we go any further, let's rewind back to how this whole thing connects. Y'all remember, the investigation started September 9th, 1996, the night Pac got taken out. And according to former detective Greg Kading, the investigation into Tupac's death eventually narrowed down to 2 names that kept standing, Keefe D and Diddy. During interviews with investigators, Keefe D made a claim that still shakes people when it gets replayed. He said that about a year before the shooting, Diddy stood in a room full of Southside Crips and allegedly offered money to have Tupac and Suge Knight unalived. The number floating around was $1 million. But once they resurfaced, the timeline of that final night started looking different again.
Keefe D claims that there is this ongoing conversation. It happens on 3 different occasions. But most specifically when he and Puffy are at this place called Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset. And they're there, things have spiraled out of control. Puffy's really concerned about, the welfare of his safety. And he tells Keefe D, man, I just need you to take care of this situation with Suge and Tupac. It's out of control. And he says, I just need you to take care of him. And Keefe D's like, that's no problem. That's what we do. And so an agreement was made, according to Keefe D, for an amount of money. And they kind of just let it go at that point in time. But of course, Keefe D knows in the back of his mind, this is what Puffy wants done. And they all end up out in Las Vegas. But of course, when we interview Keefe D, he's like, yeah, that's what the agreement amount was, $1 million.
So according to Keefe, he's claiming that Puffy offered him $1 million to Suge or Tupac?
Both
or
of
both.
them. Yeah, both their names came up. And according to Keefe D, he says, you know, Tupac's put himself on the list by all the talking that he was doing. But it was really about Suge, because it was Suge's muscle that Puffy was afraid of.
So I want to backtrack. You said that you was on top of the world until you met Puffy. What you mean by that?
Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man, balling, man. Didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. My shit was laid out smooth, man. I met your motherfucking ass, and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucking ass, man. Brother love, come show some love. That's all I can say. Show some love, brother love. You know, shit. Brother, I be seeing you doing your little pretty dance and all that, man. Show some love, homie. Come on, man. Don't be like that, brother love. I was on top of the world till I met your motherfucking ass, dude. Shit is wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Shit up there talking about you, daddy love. Show us some love.
Folks been talking about the book Keefe D wrote, and dude didn't stop there. He went on loud on podcasts and interviews, further echoing his statements made in the book. Dude said it was real, says he didn't make none of it up, says it's his truth. He been so loud about it for 15 years now, even provoking Pac's relatives. Pac's cousin goes on to even say they already knew Keefe D was involved, but dude made it easy by opening his mouth too wide. Keefe then gets arrested in 2023. He pleads not guilty, and he's been in jail since. Now the trial just began, August 2026.
Sir, are you familiar with the one charge that you're facing?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
As to that charge, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Sir, you have the right to have a jury trial set within 60 days. Would you like to invoke or waive that right?
Go ahead.
Okay. This case is going to be assigned to Department 2. This case is going to have a status check trial setting in Department 2. That date is?
November 7th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
My belief is that justice has been foregone years ago. The night my cousin was should have been an intense investigation at that time. We're here 30 years later. What he admitted, of course, I mean, like, what does that mean? Like, he admitted his role in the murder of Tupac Shakur continuously, repeatedly. He was screaming it out publicly. He's facing serious charges. He's facing time, a lot of time. He's an elderly person now. So, of course, he's going to evade accountability by saying or claiming that he embellished what he proudly boasted about for the last 15 years. I would do the same thing.
7 years, the family of Tupac Shakur have been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, a.k.a. Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
Lane starts blasting. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looking at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting shot. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either.
Why the hell is he being arrested in 2023? If this has been a well-known theory, and it was a well-known theory that he was in the car for a long time, everybody else is dead, bar Suge Knight, who was in the other car where Tupac was shot. So why 2023?
You know that impenetrable, can't get through, proper, rock solid agreement that you can't do anything about? Dwayne Keefe D is clearly the greatest legal scholar of all of us, because he figured out a way to penetrate it by opening his damn mouth. So what ended up happening is the prosecutors have known or have believed that Dwayne Keefe D was involved. And I guarantee you, prosecutors forever, like, we can't prosecute this guy because he has this lot solid profit. Well, then the guy decides to write a tell-all book, goes on podcast, starts telling the world about what's going on.
Now fast forward to today, the conversation is shifting even deeper. Word is, Keefe D is not just talking about money and logistics. He's pointing at a personal reason that cut deeper than East Coast versus West Coast. The claim circulating is that Diddy and Tupac were more than industry colleagues. Some insiders have described the connection as obsession on Diddy's side, something closer than regular friendship. Old footage from performances and public moments got pulled back up, with people saying the energy between them looked different once you knew what to look for. The last time the two were seen in public together was at Diddy's birthday party. Allegedly, something happened that night that ended whatever they had. Some are saying Tupac walked away from the relationship right there on Diddy's birthday. Less than a month later, Tupac was shot. The streets have been whispering for years that the whole East Coast-West Coast rivalry was a cover for a personal fallout that got out of hand. Keefe D's alleged version is that the hit was ordered because Tupac ended it and refused to stay quiet or controlled.
What's gotta be up? You can't do this, though. Yeah. Of course you can.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
Nothing. I don't know. I never said anything. Oh, it's time to start dancing.
That tattoo of Tupac's skull over Diddy's heart still gets brought up every time this story resurfaces. People keep asking what it really meant. Was it respect, or was it something else that never fully healed?
I came across another photo, this one, to which I had to blink multiple times to make sure I was seeing what I was seeing. Does that skeleton look familiar to anybody? Like, if you could take a wild guess, is there any specific person with a bandana that might come to mind? And so because that black and white picture was a little fuzzy, I went down a rabbit hole because I'm like, no, I need to see this tattoo as clear as I possibly can. Am I tripping? Is that not a skeleton with a bandana wrapped around his head? Tattooed on the heart side of his chesticles? Like, when they say that reality is stranger than fiction, I just don't even want to go down any more rabbit holes regarding this man or anybody in Hollywood for that matter. These folks crazy.
The night of the shooting itself started with a fight inside the MGM Grand. Tupac and the death row crew jumped Orlando Anderson, Keefe D's nephew, who was connected to the same Southside Crip circle. Hours later, Tupac was riding with Suge when a white Cadillac pulled up. Were fired. Tupac took multiple hits. 6 days later, he was gone. For decades, nobody could prove who ordered the attack. Investigators kept circling the same story of money changing hands. The person Keefe D pointed at as the one putting up that money was Diddy. Another name that entered the frame is Eric Von Zip Martin, a close associate of Diddy. Keefe D claimed the gun used in the shooting was linked to a car connected to Von Zip. Even members of Tupac's family started asking why Von Zip never got fully investigated. Then there's Kirk Burroughs, one of the co-founders of Bad Boy, kept detailed journals during his time around Diddy. One entry raised serious questions. Just days before Tupac was taken out, Kirk wrote that Diddy asked him to rent cars for a drive from New York to Las Vegas. At the time, the detail did not seem major. Years later, investigators started looking at those records again. The dates, costs, even them routes.
There's also, you go into the book, that apparently there was supposed to be $1 million that Zip was supposed to bring back, but he ended up keeping the money and buying a nightclub with it.
That's what the FBI said.
The FBI said that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Puffy, right, how do you feel about the rumor that Puffy, he gave a guy named Eric Von Zip a check for $1 million to give to Keefe D to kill Tupac?
I'm familiar with the story. I'm familiar with the dude. My man Big Psych, rest in peace, used to know that dude.
So you met Von Zip before. So how does that make you feel, man? Somebody that you met, and I'm sure that he knew that she was Tupac's brother. How does that make you feel knowing that he's the one that provided Keefe D with the gun to kill Tupac?
That's not true. That decision put us in the worst situation that we could have ever been in. We lost our #1 talent. We're on a West Coast where we're surrounded by enemies who told us not to be here. We really shouldn't have been there, but we were. Now we have to get out of there. At that time, I brought most of the company with me. I had a lot of interns, young people. I had to account for them with their parents. We had to get them home. That weekend, I think we had to get Sean out first. 1, 2, 3 steps in the trunk of a car, moving out the city limits to another airport on that flight out.
Tupac was loud, fearless, emotional, and impossible to control. He called people out publicly, switched sides, and exposed tensions. The industry was turning into a billion-dollar machine, and Pac was becoming dangerous to that system because he refused to play quiet. Some powerful names allegedly benefited the most once he was gone. Jay-Z was respected, but nowhere near running hip-hop, while Pac and Biggie were the faces. Then, both of them were gone within months, and Jay started climbing to a different level of power. Jay himself admitted he prepared a diss track aimed at Tupac, performed it once, then shelved it after Pac passed. That confirmed there was real tension. Snoop Dogg's old interviews show he was uncomfortable with how far things were going. He admitted Pac had revenge on his mind after Quad Studios and never fully believed Biggie had something to do with the setup. Some online voices keep pointing at how Snoop never looks people in the eyes when he talks about that night.
Can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing? And you can sleep? You can still go to the movies about, and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are. You know what I'm saying? And that bugs me. Not saying that when I'm never gonna be rich and you know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's a struggle and I think everybody deserves it.
What was you and Pac's relationship prior to his passing?
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York and New York shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, and I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with him. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, then tried to kill me. And you tell me you want to do a song with him? I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out. Pac, Biggie, Puff, Suge, all of us together. That to me, I never seen myself getting involved.
Them online community been going wild about the Snoop Pac drama. This person wrote, Tupac knew his killers. He just confessed to Snoop. How would you want to make a song with them when they tried to kill me? Another said, I understand Tupac for this. And everybody knew who was the killer. That's why Biggie was the next on the list. Yet this user disagrees. Snoop wasn't wrong. I love Pac, but he was his own worst enemy. Now folks turn back to Diddy, old clips of his reaction when Tupac got silenced and got them street talking really loud. Word on the street is Puff allegedly got a hand in what happened to Shakur. People referred to the looks in his eyes, saying he ain't innocent.
Uncle had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Because first of all, he dissed my man. Said my man turned his back on him, and I know for a fact that didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors that's spreading is on some tip we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. And the rumors that's spreading is on some tip we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
Online critics comments about Diddy's looks during the interview with Biggie. This user said, that's a look or someone with a guilty conscience. Another wrote, shifty even are often thought to be a sign of dishonesty or disinterest. Yet this user was blunt. He's sitting on that couch like, yeah, and you next. Another wrote that the same face he had at his wife Kim's funeral service. Look at the video, it gets deeper. This person goes, why and how did Diddy get so powerful and get away with all these crimes all these years? Now the big picture Keefe D is allegedly putting on the table is that the hit was not just street politics, it was personal. Tupac ended whatever they had, refused to stay in the fold, and became a liability. The money was offered, cars were rented, and gun was linked. The happened less than a month after the birthday party fallout, and for 30 years, the full name behind the order stayed protected. And the only man ever charged is about to face a jury. His own past words are the main evidence against him. The older claims about a personal relationship, rejection, and a paid hit are sitting right next to the new courtroom energy. The streets are watching every move because this might be the closest the culture has ever come to hearing who really ordered the hit on Tupac. Spotlight on you. What do you think happens? Keefe D takes the stand. If the personal fallout is the real motive, how many other artists who got close and then pulled away are still carrying the same pressure? Let us know what you think in the comments and keep it locked, because this drama is far from over. And if you thought this was wild, click the next video to dive even deeper.